Good morning, guys. A few weeks ago, I was in Armenia when a war broke out. I had received a text message from a woman, and she sent me a link, and Armenia just declared war for the first time in a long time. And I was deep in the mountains over there, and way out of my comfort zone. And I didn't really know what to make of it. I didn't understand how serious it was. I didn't understand if I was in danger. I was already out of my comfort zone, being deep in the mountains of Armenia, and then to know that a war just started. Holy shit! What do I do? And so I kind of started to process it. And just as I was kind of laying on the couch, I checked Instagram, and I got a message from a friend of mine in Russia who had lived in Armenia. And she had been giving me some advice about where to go and what to do when I was there. And she said, "Jacob, I suggest you leave Armenia immediately. If you're in the mountains, get out of the mountains, get into the city. If you're in the city, get out of the city, go home. Now's not the time to be here." And just as I was reading that message, I heard a series of bombs going off. So it was nighttime, about 8 o'clock, and it was just rapid fire. Boom, 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 boom. My friend came out of his room upstairs, came down. He said, "What was that?" I said, "Dude, isn't it obvious? It was bombs." And we went to the front desk of the resort we were staying at, and we asked them, "Hey, what, did you guys hear that noise? What was that?" And they said, "What noise was that? What are you talking about?" We're like, "What, are you kidding me?" He said, "It must have been fruit falling from tree." And me and my friend weren't buying it. We're like, "Hey, that seemed pretty evident. Those were bombs." So I went back to my room, and I did a kind of process of being with my fear and meditating on it, and kind of doing some inner work with it, doing some journaling with it. And when I was doing that, what I immediately got clarity on, like the first thing that revealed itself as truth for me, was if I die, I want to die laughing. And there was something so ridiculous but profound about that for me, and true. It wasn't just fucking around. Like, if I die, I want to die open. I want to die with my heart open. I want to die, being connected to life, not constricted and closed and afraid. And it turned out that what we thought were bombs, the next morning we found out, were actually fireworks in that region. Now, it's not to say that Armenia wasn't at war and bombs weren't going off somewhere. They were. But it wasn't actually where we were in that moment, which is what my fear had told me must have been the obvious thing. Isn't it obvious that this is what's happening? No, it's fruit falling from tree. It wasn't fruit, but it turned out it was fireworks. So there's a lot of uncertainty going on in our country, America right now, and just in the world. And whether or not it's bombs, whether or not, it is the worst case of what we fear, my question for you is, how do you want to live in this? Or how do you want to die in this? And I think it's important to have that clarity. Even if the worst case comes true, how do you want to show up in that? And my nudge to you is to live your fucking purpose, to do the shit that's most meaningful. This is our one ride, right? Like, doesn't matter who gets elected. I mean, it does in many ways, but it doesn't in the sense that you're still here to live most true to yourself and from your heart, and to know that when the day comes that you die, that you've lived complete. You've lived in a way that was true to yourself, and you've died in a way that was true to yourself. So, I wanted to share that with you. I hope you're doing super well. And remember, it is fruit
falling from tree.
All right. One more thing before we wrap up, guys. Right now, more than ever, I think it's really important for us to have a deep sense of clarity. And I'm going to create some stuff over the next few weeks that really helps to bring you more clarity. But what would be so helpful for moi is if you could email me and let me know what's the number one thing that you're looking for clarity on, and what feels like the biggest challenge, frustration, or obstacle that gets in the way of that clarity. Get at me, yo.